Now let us continue our chapter 3, elements, compounds and mixtures. In the earlier class we will discuss how the matter can be divided as pure substance, and also pure substance can be divided as elements, and further the elements can be divided as metals, non-metals and metalloids. So in the last class I was discussing that metals, non-metals and metalloids we will discuss further. So in this class we will discuss about metals, non-metal, metalloids and so on. Now the elements can be divided as metals and their properties can be written as the metals, the generally solids and such as hardness, malleability and ductility, high resistance, high lustrous and ability to conduct heat and electricity. So these are called metals like copper, iron. Now the non-metals, they are non-lustrous and also the poor conductors of electricity, poor conductors of heat, poor conductors of electricity such as sulfur, phosphorus and so on. Now the next is metalloids. Metalloids have the characteristics common to metals and non-metals. That means they are behaving like metals and non-metals both. These are arsenic, tin, bismuth and so on. Now in the compound, that means the two different atoms can be combined in the form a compound, that is water. Here hydrogen and oxygen is combining to form H2O. It is the different compound. Now as methane, that is CH4. Here carbon is 1 and hydrogen is 4 atom. That means 1 atom of carbon and 4 atom of hydrogen combine to form methane. Like compounds are different types, like two types, organic and inorganic. Organic compounds, yes, obviously most of the organic compounds that contain carbon, that is C and H bond. Inorganic compound that cannot contain carbon, that means CH bond, but mostly contain a metal. Here water is the difference, that here in water H2O there is no CH bond, no carbon hydrogen bond. So is it organic or inorganic? Yes, hydrogen and oxygen that contain water is an inorganic compound. The next topic is mixture. In the mixture there is two different types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous, that means the composition for each part constant, remains constant. If we take salt and water in a solution, then the particles of salt and the molecules or atoms of water remains constant whole the solution. That means throughout the solution the properties and their compositions remain constant. But in heterogeneous mixture the composition may vary for each and every part. That means if air is a mixture, air is called a mixture, then air contains many different types of dust particles, smoke particles, impurities and also some vapors and also some smoke. That means dust particles in air remains the varying type. Dust particles and in air remains varying each and every time. So heterogeneous mixture, that is the composition may vary for each and every part. Now what are the types of separating mixtures? That means separating the components of a mixture can be separated as the physical and also some chemical respective process, like evaporation. We can separate volatile components like from non-volatile components, solute, that means recovery of salt from seawater. We can rise in temperature, that means the rate of evaporation increases with the rise of temperature and water evaporates and the remaining part salt remains residue. So we can separate this picture. Centrifugal, that means centrifugal force, and the process is called centrifugation. It is a process that involves uses of centrifugal force or sedimentation for the heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous means their components and composition varying each other types and each other part. So in this, can we see in dairies or in our home that we can separate the butter from the milk by churning? Yes, by churning the rope or the stick, we can separate butter from milk, and it is the heterogeneous mixture because there are some different types of colloids, milk suspensions, water and milk molecules also. Now by the use of separating funnel, we can separate a mixture of two immiscible liquids by using funnel, and the principle is that immiscible liquids separate out in layers. Obviously, the immiscible layers can be differentiated by different layers, and they can be separated by different layers by pouring it into the funnel. To separate the mixture of oil and water and in the extraction of iron through the slag. Lighter slag. Slag is lighter and iron is heavier, so it can be separated by the separating funnel. Now next is sublimation. What is sublimation? By the process of sublimation, the mixture of those two solids is separated in which one is sublimate, and in this process the mixture is heated, due to which sublimate substance vaporized. Yes. Have you recall your memory, sublimation I have told earlier classes that the compounds that can change through gas to solid and solid to gas without changing into the liquid. So these are the substances can be separated from this process, that is called sublimation, and they can call sublimate. Now the next topic is chromatography. Chromatography means chroma. The word chroma, that is a Greek word meaning color, and it can be modern technique separation, purification of organic compounds by applying some mixtures like dye or pigments, which is the different from the water, or dye is the different from water. That means the atoms of dye or atoms of molecules are totally different, and by chromatography we can separate them. Other example is drugs from the blood. Yes, from blood we can separate the drugs, or any drugs can be done by chromatography. Distillation. The next topic is distillation. It is based on the difference in the boiling points. Yes, if two solute or two solvents are mixed with each other, then on boiling, liquids having lower boiling point can be vaporized first and collect separately. That means if two solutions are immiscible and can be made a solution and can be differentiated and separated by the process distillation, whether they have different boiling points. If they have different boiling points, the lower boiling points substance can vaporize first and the other can be collected as the separated form. Now it can be also divided as fractional distillation, distillation under reduced pressure, and steam distillation. The next topic is crystallization. This method is used to purify solids. It is a process that separates a pure solid in the form of crystal from a solution. Obviously, in a solution, there are solute particles are solvent, and in this process, some solute particles become like a crystal and can be separated from the solution. In this, the substances to be purified is dissolved in suitable solvent and the solution is concentrated up to the saturation point. Saturation point means some like acid and base reactions. That means if they have cooled slowly, the crystals of pure solid separated out. That means at the separation point, at the saturation point, the crystal becomes like solid matter and can be separated by the crystallization. So this technique is used in the purification of salt that we get from sea water. जो हम समुद्र से सी पाते हैं, यह एक सैचुरेशन प्रोसेस के सहायता से क्रिस्टलाइजेशन फॉर्म पे उसको क्रिस्टलाइज किया जाता है एंड द वाटर इज सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम द क्रिस्टल सॉल्ट्स. So these are the different topics that you may learn in your book by different techniques and by different experiments. And in this chapter, I am ending this topic, elements, compounds and mixtures. Thank you.